Greg was just living with me, so I didn't really know like to tell him like, "Hey, I'm going to do this, you should come. Hey, I'm going to do this, you should come." And it was just like I would go do something. He goes, "Dude, why didn't you tell me?" I was like, yeah, that's my bad. I don't know. I just assumed you're always there. You're like this little fly on the wall all the time." And then I started coaching. So, and Greg was, like you said, coming up and back, and it was kind of cool to have him around, and just getting interviews. So it's just like I was used to seeing him all the time, all the time, all the time. And then I got injured at the end of 2013. So in 2013, I had a foot thing happen. My Liz Frank popped off. I thought it was just a sprain, so I was in a boot for 6 weeks. Didn't I just got an X-ray? I didn't get any other imaging done, and then so Greg was just like, all right, well, you'll be back. Like, it'll be kind of cool. You get to go, try to make the team and, like start your freestyle career. And then come to find out I needed, after I needed surgery. So I needed to go somewhere to get surgery. I got it in town, in Ithaca, and they found out that I had a heart condition. It was called Wolff Parkinson's White. And I was like, uh-oh. Um, they're like, hey, this is kind of serious. Like, there's like a 1% chance that you go into cardiac arrest, like at any given moment. I'm like, well, I don't want that. But I also don't want to get heart surgery. Like, I don't want them to, and, like, well, it's just an ablation. So basically it'll go up into through your groin and then get up in your heart, and then they'll just like map it out and make it go away. Um, and they were really confident that it was going to be a simple procedure. They're like, it'll probably take 2 hours. Ended up taking 6 hours. The worst part of that surgery was my shoulders, just being so tired. Like my traps are still sore from that surgery, I think. But then I had another surgery, so I was out for a long, long time. So Greg would, come up and see how I was doing, and I was kind of coaching. I was in a boot at NCAAs that next year in 2014, and was itching to get back on the mat. Like I really want to get back on the mat, and I started wrestling really well again. And then the end of 2014, I was wrestling in a at the OTC, getting ready to go to the Euregan, and got thrown by a Greco guy, and we were supposed to be just hand fighting, no throws, just like hard hand fight, hard hand fight, hard hand fight, and then he went to throw me, and I like pulled my elbow out, and like my hand got stuck, and he threw me, and just boom. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to the Uri again, and then found out that I fractured my scapula and like tore a bunch of ligaments in my shoulder, in my rotator cuff, and then my labrum was all jacked up too. Um, so that was a hard one to deal with, but it was like, well, 2015 is like a super important year. Let's just heal up, see how you feel, because you want to qualify the weight. If you qualify the weight for the Olympics, like you're feeling really good going into the trials.